From blenders to biceps, naturopathic doctor Dr. Jacqui Fleury joins us, and this morning we're talking about protein and the different ways we can add protein in our diet. Good morning, Jacqui.
Good morning, Chantel. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming in and talking about, just to start off with protein, why do we need it in our diet and our daily lives?
Well, protein is a building block for our cells and for making new cells, and also for building muscle, as well as helping to stabilize our blood sugar. So it's one of those macronutrients that we need to get from our diet.
And how much would someone need protein in their diet?
Well, let's say the average person, we'll say 150 pounds, probably needs about 50 grams of protein. So if you weigh a little less protein. If you're muscle building, if you're a weightlifter, then you probably need a little bit more than that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a good kind of base to start off at. And going at the different varieties of protein, and we have a couple examples here. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to do today.
So there's three main categories of protein. So there's going to be animal-based protein, there's going to be plant-based protein, and then collagen, which is a form of animal protein, but there's a lot of information, a lot of buzz about collagen, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But within the animal category, we've got, this is a beef-based protein. We also have whey, which a lot of people are very familiar with, which is actually when you're making cheese and you have the liquid, you drain the liquid off of cheese, that's the whey, so that gets powdered, and there's different qualities and different forms of whey powder. When you are using casein, that's the solid part of the protein when you're making cheese. And then we've got the beef, which is hydrolyzed beef protein. So that's the animal category. And then with the plant, we have soy, we have pea, hemp, rice, quinoa. So there's a lot of different combinations of plant-based proteins. And then we have the collagen. So I brought samples of the three of them. I thought we could mix them up and you could do a little taste test for us here.
Sounds good. So we'll start off with the plant protein.
Yeah, so a lot of the questions that I get are around the quality. How do you choose a good protein powder? One of the things that you want to focus on is the less is more. So what makes a protein powder often frothy and smooth and blend really easily are often additives and emulsifiers and thickeners that actually can be hard on your digestive tract. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Okay, this is the plant.
So that's the plant-based one. So you can see how frothy and creamy that is. And I'm just adding this to water, right? So if you're putting it in the blender and adding fruit and other ingredients, then of course it's even thicker and even frothier. But some people really prefer that. This is just the hydrolyzed beef. This would be similar to whey, but some people can't process whey. So if you can see the difference, see how almost runny that is.
Yeah.
It's not thick, it's not foaming. And then of course we have the collagen. And the collagen is also, in this case, there's no flavor, there's no color. So what do you think of that one?
This one was really hardly any flavor. It was very light. And actually you just did a quick mix, but it mixes it's really smooth. Yeah,
so I'm just doing this with water just so that you can see it. And sometimes really you just want something quick. That's collagen.
Okay.
So that is clear. There's no, it's not thick, it's not frothy, it's not creamy. It just dissolves in water.
Yeah, doesn't taste like anything.
No. Exactly. So really when you're choosing a good protein powder, you want to go after less is more. So really the ingredient should be your protein source, a flavor, and a clean sweetener like monk fruit or stevia. And when you start to see the label getting longer and longer, you know that there is additives, there's flavors, there's colors sometimes to make it kind of exotic and fun, like bubblegum flavored protein powder. But really, you really want to focus on the less is more. And then things like pea protein, things like whey, things like casein, things like soy, they're all great sources of protein, but what some people may not be aware is that they might have an immune response. And the only way to know that is to do a blood test. So you and I have talked about the food sensitivity testing before. And you may be taking these proteins and not realizing that you actually have an immune response. So eggs would be another example of a protein source. So, so knowing whether or not it's a good fit for you as an individual, that can be really empowering information. And sometimes in spite of knowing all of this, you still may feel that it bothers your gut. And that's usually a sign that you've got a weedy garden. We always talk about your gut being a garden. So sometimes you need to weed the garden. Sometimes you need to do like an overhaul in your gut so that you can actually tolerate these products a little bit better.
Wonderful. Well, lots of awesome information this morning, all about protein, different powders. Thank you so much, Jacqui.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.